Hey, you. Welcome back to the Spark Faith podcast. Thank you. My name is Dr. Chris Sargent, if you haven't been here before. And today we are going to talk about dopamine. And I've called it the dopamine deception because although dopamine is good for us and is absolutely necessary for life, there's a part of getting to the dopamine that we know now, like it can be very destructive, right? And it can actually lead down a very self-destructive and self-sabotaging path. And for many years I was on that path, and I was a workaholic, and I pushed that workaholic need and drive for external validation and for love, attention. All of those big things brought that those little dopamine hits just enough, right, to keep that cycle rolling. And so, what about you? What about you? What about where do you get your dopamine hits? Is it in the cookie bag? Is it scrolling on your phone? Is it, what are the unhealthy ways that you're seeking those quick dopamine feel good moments in your day? I'm not here to judge because obviously I've done all of that and more. So, um staying, transparent to that. So, you know, but then what was the cost? What's the cost? Right? What's the cost to you? What was the cost to me? I lost relationships, lost good relationships in my life. I It certainly helped implode my marriage, and it almost destroyed the relationship with my kids, right? And I totally pushed God away for a very long time. My faith was very, very important for those of you who've known me for a long time. Um, and now all that's back, but and has been redeemed and fixed. And obviously we're all a work in progress. However, what is it that you're missing while you're scrolling? What is it that you're missing while you're obsessing about your next dopamine hit, right? Like, ooh, how can I get this? Or how can I go shopping? Or how do I, how can I figure out where to grab that bag of cookies or my next Starbucks fix, or what does that look like? And then what impact is that having on your actual body, right? For me, I mean, I had to walk away from my brick and mortar practice. I was just exhausted. I was burned out, exhausted. And when I finally took a vacation, I slept for almost 3 solid days. Like I'd get up and go to the went on vacation and went to the beach and slept for a couple hours and got up and had some food and went back and slept for a couple hours and walked and ran and slept for a couple, like I was just fully exhausted. And so what toll is it taking on you? Is it keeping you from sleeping? Is it messing up your hormones? Is it messing up your body in a way that's really not serving you? And so then how do we get out of it, right? How did I get out of it? It was a slow process for me, and I didn't understand the process until I understood it, until I understood that I had to take full responsibility for the process and for my behavior. And that's the harder conversation, right? That's the harder part of the conversation, is really understanding, taking that full responsibility and breaking that cycle. And what I used, besides learning how to have emotional intelligence, was first of all slowing down and learning what creates that dopamine anyway. What creates that from a in a positive way? And what can I give to the world, and how can I serve the world in a positive way and still get those dopamine hits? So I'm going to tell you that doing my podcast is a huge dopamine hit. I love being here and giving my knowledge and experience and all that to you. So finding kindness, finding a place to get out of yourself is a great place to start, right? Finding that heart, finding some love, exercise. I know I like we beat this in, right? Moving your body 3 to 5 minutes changes your body chemistry. It gives you those endorphins. It gives you that dopamine. It gives you the serotonin that you need to really shift your entire mood and feeling, much better than a bag of Oreos or chips or popcorn. And then healthy foods, actually, things with good amino acid content. We need tyrosine and magnesium to create dopamine, and so that those are foods, like your green leafies and lean proteins that you can get that from. Sleep helps you recover good dopamine and all the other good feel good neurotransmitters. And so there are positive ways that you can get big dopamine hits that last longer and are much more satisfying than the instant gratification, right? So this is satisfaction versus gratification, this very quick hit versus long term satisfied. It's a big difference, right? So, you know, do some self-assessment. Think about it. Reach out if you need to. I'm happy to walk through whatever your dopamine issue is, but do not be deceived by dopamine. Just because you feel good in those moments doesn't necessarily mean that it's good for you. So figure out whether you're creating good dopamine for your body or whether you're really in a self-sabotaging circle for yourself. Love you, love you, love you. Bless you. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.